Hey, good Wednesday morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It's a sunny, warm, summer-like day, and it's so great to be with you all right now at this very moment, Wednesday morning, out on Tanner and Cortez Bank, about 100 miles, more or less. It is flat wide open this morning. We are talking to several boats, and they are all in on some outstanding bluefin tuna fishing, outstanding yellowtail fishing, as the bite here in Southern California is as good as it gets, and it looks like it's going to just continue right on through today. We'll have more on that in a moment. We're going to go down and check out the long range scene. Long range boats on 7 and 8 day trips out of San Diego have been experiencing magnificent fishing, and I don't see any change in that. Our friends to the south of the border continue to enjoy great fishing. It's for real sport fishing in Ensenada. Our dear friend Louis Prieto with a fabulous day yesterday, catching barracuda and yellowtail and so much more. We've got all that. We've got Catalina. We've got San Clemente Island. We've got the Channel Islands. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, so good, and so good to be with you. What a great day. What a beautiful morning. And I'm so happy you've taken a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to spend it here with us. Hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, and of course, tick the little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Make sure you visit all our sponsors. Trocar Hooks. That's what you should be using out there on the water right now in this bluefin tuna by Trocar. Fantastic, as well as all our other sponsors. Appreciate all the great support you give them. You can fish with me on the inner harbor trips here. Make sure you look for that and jump on one of those trips. And of course, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. It is great to be with you all. Just a reminder that at the end of today's report, in case you haven't seen all of the great stuff surrounding the Battle of Los Angeles, it's going to take place at Legg Lake on August 24th. I've got an interview on there with our dear friend Eldridge Hardley that you're going to love. He's doing so much to help kids get out into the great outdoors and experience the joy of sport fishing. And it is more important right now than it has ever been in our community. So stay tuned for that at the end of today's report. All right, let's do this. Let's go south of the border and just jump around some of the Baja venues that are so great. One of those is down there in the La Paz region, where they're starting to catch a little bit more Dorado, but their season has been late. One of the best Augusts they've ever seen down there, according to Jonathan Roldan from Tail Hunter International on Yellowtail. It's been a late season down there. Hopefully it's going to continue to develop, and we're just going to have a late bite on all those exotic species that we love down there so much. We take a look at the Bay of LA, Bahia de Los Angeles, and it's been fantastic. Wide open Dorado, great yellowtail fishing, fabulous fishing in the Bay of LA right now. Cedros Island, great fishing going on there for a yellowtail. But you know, the yellowtail bite there is so epic and so wonderful that we overlook the calico bass bites you can get in. Some big halibut, some big white sea bass. Phenomenal fishing at Cedros right now. Now that brings us up to 70 miles down below the border to Ensenada, where Louis Prieto ran down to Santo Tomas yesterday. Full speed barracuda and big log gar like we used to see around here in SoCal. Fish boiling everywhere, biting the iron. Great fishing there. They also had a flash on some nice yellowtail. Some of the yellows are small, like 5-pounders. Some are 18 to 25-pound fish. Really good stuff. They had a sunfish, a mola mola, that had bait all around it, and the fish were just playing all around there. It was surreal to see that mola mola and all that fish boiling around and hooking fish one after another. And of course, at its for real sport fishing, they topped off with big reds and copious amounts of rockfish and some lings. Fantastic days fishing down there in Ensenada. That bite is very good. Let's go long range right now. We've been following the independents, but I just want to make the point that all the long range boys are in on some absolutely fantastic fishing. To illustrate the point, the independents started out a couple of days ago by having yellowfin tuna right there in the corner where you could underhand a bait with 60-pound, and you were on. It was mostly 25 to 50-pound YFT, but it was biting full speed. Everybody limiting out. So they decided to go a little bit further south and see what they could do with the yellowtail. And their yellowtail action fantastic yesterday and this morning. It has been phenomenal. Very steady, excellent fishing on 18 to 25 pound yellowtail. It doesn't get much better than that. They're going to go into the beach now and see if they can't find some white sea bass and have one of those epic big calico bass bites. It has been really great on the long range scene. That continues. And you know, I'm not even going to start naming other boats because they're all in on this and they're all doing great. And that fleet out of San Diego is absolutely the best in the world. So if you ever get a chance to do a long range trip, I highly recommend you do it. We have a 8-day trip on the Independence in November, been sold out for a long, long time, but we have a 5-day trip in April of next year. I would love to see you on that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. Independence in April. Go to independentsportfishing.com and book on that trip right now. Hey, let's talk bluefin tuna, and we got to talk Tanner Cortez Bank. More or less from just about anywhere from San Diego to Ventura, you're talking about a 90, 100-mile run. Some guys, listen to this now, on overnight trips, so they have about 22, 23 hours to pull this off, to run that 90, 100 miles. It's going to take them at least 9, 10 hours. Get out there on overnight trips right now, and they're doing not just fine, they're putting the wood to them, catching limits. Highliner with our friend Max, they did an overnight trip, ran out there, 44 bluefin tuna for their 22 anglers. 2 bluefin per rod per day on the BFT. That is the limit here in SoCal. Highliner, they've been hot all year long, and they're not slowing down. We just talked to the Tribute, and they are all over the big yellows. They've had great yellowtail fishing here this Wednesday morning, and a lot of bluefin tuna. Appears they are headed toward limits right now. The Constitution is in on this kind of fishing right now. It can't get any better when you can run that far and you have such a small window to make it happen, and you make it happen. The vast majority of boats out there right now. Remember, day-and-a-half trips, but overnight trips also are fishing this. Anybody who goes out there from just about any geographical location from San Diego on up to Ventura, Oxnard area, they are catching limits of bluefin tuna and copious amounts of big yellowtail. It is fantastic. 25-pound fluorocarbon, you are going to get a bite, but sometimes you can bump up to the 40-pounder. Good hot bait will work for you. Trocar hooks by Eagle Claw, super strong, super sharp. They work really, really well. I highly recommend you give them a try. Choosing a good hot bait, as always, is the way to get it done. And those yellows biting the surface iron and the yo-yo iron, really outstanding fishing going on. The Freedom back in this morning from a day-and-a-half trip, and they had fantastic fishing. Incidentally, I met some really nice gentlemen while you were leaving on that day-and-a-half trip. I know you're watching because I heard you watching while we were taping some shows at our home base of 22nd Street Landing, and I'm so happy you guys had a great trip. Way to go. Nice going. One of those guys, Marcus Garcia, was on that trip, and he said, Phil, as good as it could get on the 20 to 30-pound yellowtail. We also had limits on the bluefin tuna on the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing. We also even caught some barracuda. It is fantastic, said Marcos, and I'm so happy for you. On board the Thunderbird, Jeff Price, who does such great charters. He goes to such great extremes to make sure you're comfortable and that you learn new things. What a trip on board the Thunderbird. They thumped on the bluefin tuna, had a whole mess of giant yellowtail. It can't get any better than it was on the Thunderbird with a great group of guys and gals and kids, for that matter, catching their first bluefin or their first big yellowtail. Fantastic fishing right now going on out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank, and I don't see it slowing down one bit at all. If you have unfiled taxes, shame on you. You can turn to Tim Marquez, Friedman Adventures family member who's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give Tim a call today. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, man, it gets hot, you're going to want to call John Lopez. John is number one. He does such a great job. Efficient heating and air conditioning. Give him a call today. Fantastic offshore fishing here in the Southern California region. It can't get much better. Hey, I want to mention that the offshore bite down there in Ensenada, since I covered inshore, that was inshore, is slow. It's just not coming together. There's some upwelling and some cold dirty water, and hopefully that'll rectify itself here very, very soon. But kelps are not holding, and the bluefin tuna bite out there hasn't been all that great. Let's talk islands, and we've got to get back to the Coronado Islands where that bite has been magnificent again. Great fishing at the Coronado Islands on Yellowtail. We see fish on the fly line bait, like 25-pound fluoro. Again, trocar hooks were great. We love that, and a good hot bait, but also surface ironfish and yo-yo ironfish. We've seen tremendous scores, and especially during the weekdays. Like right now, we are seeing great fishing, primarily because the boat pressure is off. On the weekends, it gets a little bit dicey. Guys can still pull it off, but they really see an upsurge most of the time on the Yellowtail bite. It's been one of the best years I've seen at the Coronado Islands. Private boaters are in on this also. Alec was there trolling a Rapala, got slammed. He lost a couple fish. He said, you better tackle up and fish heavier than 50-pound when you're goofing around there at the islands. He had 3 guys out with him, and they all went home with some fish. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody's really looking at San Clemente Island, but there's barracuda, yellowtail, there's white sea bass underneath the squid there, and there's some phenomenal calico bass fishing going on. But, Cortez Tannerbank, stone's throw from Clemente. You get out there, and you're going to get well in a hurry on that bluefin, a big yellowtail. Some guys do fish Clemente, and that's what they find. The aforementioned bite is pretty darn good at Catalina Island. We have lots of warm water. It is warm. And we're wondering if something really big is about to happen. For now, it's a picky, scratchy kind of bite. Calico bass bite hasn't been all that bad. Yesterday on the El Patron, 22 guys at 50 on the calico bass. They also had 10 bonita and 5 barracuda. A little bit on the scratchier side at Cat right now. Hopefully all that warm water will produce. A lot of times you have your bait, I should say, at the bait receiver where the water's a little cool. Then you run to Catalina Island, and those things just go like, what are you trying to do, cook me? So the bait takes a little bit of a beating some days as you go over there. But hopefully that's going to pick up. And there's nothing wrong with 50 legal calico bass. There's a lot of shorts in there. There's a lot of action. Fishing lighter line will always get you a better bite when you're fishing for calico bass. I'm talking about dropping down to 15-pound and a smaller hook. It works great. So keep that in mind, my friends, and that will make a huge difference to your success, guaranteed. El Patron, by the way, on the weekends, I think it's 145. On the weekdays, it's 115. Limited load, beautiful fast boat, great crew, and fun fishing, and you can't beat Catalina Island. 115 bucks. Give me a break. That is such a great deal. Weekdays on the El Patron, www.longbbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron. All right, Santa Barbara Island, we've seen great fishing when Tom Dura's out there on the El Pescador. He's had big yellowtail. He's had great calico bass and barracuda fishing. The little islet biting really, really well up there in the Channel Islands, waiting to see if we get another explosion on halibut and or white sea bass. It's been pretty tame here recently. There's some good calico bass fishing going on up there in the Channel Islands right now. There's also barracuda at the local islands like Santa Cruz or Anacapa Island. And then every once in a while we'll get an explosion on sea bass and yellowtail. We've not had an explosion on yellowtail, but we've seen a lot of fish. So there's all of that stuff. But right now we've been catching a lot of rockfish. And what in the heck is wrong with that? Copious amounts of colorful and great eating rockfish. It doesn't get any better than the Channel Islands. Let me tell you, you always have an insurance card up there in the Channel Islands. You can try for that surface stuff, and if it doesn't manifest, then you can fall back and take home some great eating rockfish. Nothing wrong with that. Island Spirit is running weekday trips. They're running weekend trips. They're running every single day out of Ventura Sport Fishing, and we love Captain Daniel Hadaway and his crew, and that boat is so roomy. The Island Spirit is a great ride. Kids fish free on Sunday, this Sunday, every Sunday. Paid adult, kid 12 or under, goes for free. You're going to want to take advantage of that. It's a great day to be on the water. Get out on the Island Spirit by calling 805-676-3474, or you can go and book right now online, VenturaSportFishing.com. Nothing wrong with that. Coral Sea up there in Santa Barbara limits of rockfish up there in Morro Bay. Tremendous fishing on lings and big reds. It's been great. San Francisco Bay Area with great halibut fishing continuing, some stripers and some big lings up there. Also, we have seen nothing short of outstanding fishing. Just let me mention my friend Chad Christopher, who's a dear Friedman Adventures family member. Chad, love you. He's going to put out a great film here. He's working on a film, and I can't wait. Man, I have been so busy with the fair last week, starts tonight, that I haven't had a chance to go out to Hollywood to experience some of the great gala events he's put on and been a part of, but I can't wait. Anyway, he's got a cousin in Florida teaching his 8-year-old son the glories and the wonders and the joy of sport fishing, an 8-foot bull shark and some other great species there in Florida for Chad's cousin. Chad, thanks for sending that along. We go down to San Diego and we talk about what's going on in the local situation, and we have seen some really outstanding sand bass fishing in San Diego, and it is continuing. The premier easy limits on the sand bass. We've also seen an occasional yellowtail, an occasional halibut down there, some good calico bass fishing. That San Diego bite locally this year has really, really been good. Up there around Oceanside, good calico fishing. Same thing up to around Dana. Maybe heavy emphasis on short fish, but a lot of action here in the Southern California zone. Well, this is all the Southern California zone, but Long Beach, San Pedro area, where I see pelicans slamming the water out there, an indication there's bait fish and maybe some good surf fishing. We'll have that in a moment. But in here, we're still catching sculpin for the most part. I don't know what happened, but that wave of sand bass stopped right there at San Diego this year. It's supposed to come all the way up here and go up to the Channel Islands for that matter. It might still happen. You know, we look down there at La Paz and things are late. Maybe it's just late here, we'll see, but we should have barracuda, and we don't. We have sculpin, rockfish, same thing, Marina del Rey. Yeah, I mean, they have some good twilight fishing on bass out of MDR, but overall, you're fishing daytime. You're catching rockfish and sculpin. Again, nothing wrong with that, but here in August, you would suspect or expect something a little bit different than that. Up there in the Channel Islands, a little bit of sand bass on the beach, barracuda, not bad at all. All right, let's talk surf fishing. If we're going to do that, we have to talk about Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They've got all the bait you'll need, all the tackle, and I'm not just talking about surf fishing. They are Southern California surf fishing headquarters, but they also have everything you'll need from trout fishing right on up to big game, bluefin, tuna. They've got it all, and they're giving away a beautiful custom surf fishing rod every single month. So this month, I don't know what the species is. I've been so busy with the fair. I humbly beg indulgence. Please forgive me. I'll find out what it is. Anyway, go to Big Fish. You buy a ruler there that you're going to measure your catch with, and they'll give you all the details on the contest. But there's no money you have to expend after you buy that ruler, and then you've got it wired. You measure your fish, you upload it to their Instagram page, and you could win a beautiful, I mean gorgeous, hundreds and hundreds of dollars in value custom surf fishing rod. Along our beaches, good corbina fishing. What's this look like today? Definitely fishable. Throwing a chrome crocodile right past that wave as it breaks, and coming through there right now will get you a yellowfin croaker or maybe even a halibut. You can fish Lucky Crab lures also down there on Huntington Beach. We see some good corbina fishing in that shallow water. 1, 2, 3 feet of water is where you want to be fishing. Santa Monica Bay, still catching corbina up there down around Rats Beach, Topaz Rock Jetty, Redondo Pier area, and up there in the Santa Monica Bay up there toward County Line Ventura. Some good barred perch and a little bit of corbina up there also. What can I tell you? It's Wednesday and it's wide open again on Tanner and Cortez, with many boats headed toward limits of bluefin tuna and huge scores on the big yellowtail. This is what sport fishing dreams are made of right now in SoCal. And that bite for Louie from It's For Real Sport Fishing, I saw that and I'm like, man, I got to get down to Ensenada. That looks like fun, all that great variety. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Wednesday morning. If anything else happens, we'll let you know. And don't forget, coming up next, if you haven't seen it, the Battle of Los Angeles at Leg Lake. All the details, great food, great people, all to get more inner city kids involved in this great sport that has done so much for you and for me. Let's help others experience it also. Have a great day, and I hope to see you really, really soon. everybody. Welcome to a really special edition of Friedman Adventures, because not only is Danny Cadota here, the veteran captain that has his own show, but Eldridge Harley is there. Eldridge, how are you, my friend?
Man, I am fantastic, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. What's up, Danny? How's it going, man? Good. Yes.
Man, it's so good to have you here. You are just full of joy, and we're going to talk about the Battle of Los Angeles. More importantly, though, we're going to talk about something that saved Danny in his youth. Really, I make the same argument. Fishing. It keeps you out of trouble. We're going to talk about inner city fishing and the value of being in the outdoors and fishing for kids. Why don't you opine on that a little bit? Is it important for kids to go fishing?
Listen, man, fishing is so therapeutic. Listen, at EOD Fishing, one thing we do with Real Hope, we try to get out there and get to the kids. We have a thing, we want them to put down the Xbox and pick up a tackle box.
100%.
Listen, if we can get them to nature somehow, nature's so therapeutic. When they get out on the water, you learn patience. You learn to get your reward after you put the time in. You learn to watch the birds, the waves, the waters. And so many kids in the inner city don't get an opportunity to get out, or they don't have access. And what we're trying to do, and the California Certified Slayers, the group of men that I'm with, we're trying to get out there and get the kids active and just bring fishing. Man, we're on a movement right now that's going on in Los Angeles, and you guys can see it at the Battle of Los Angeles at Whittier Narrows, Leg Lake, August the 24th.
Wow. I don't think anybody could put that better. I mean, it's so valuable. It played an important role in your youth, didn't it, Danny?
You know what? I grew up in the inner city, and I used to get in so much trouble. I got tired of getting
He's a troublemaker.
And that's when they used to swat us in the principal's office. Right? My dad got tired of, and then he'd have to come pick me up and then get swatted again. Yeah. Well, you know, the only thing I liked more than getting in trouble was fishing. And so he finally held that over my head. Now, I'm talking about kindergarten age. And he said, you stay out of trouble, you get to go fishing with Grandpa and Grandma on Sunday. On Saturday, excuse me. Sunday I had to go to church. But on Saturday, I go fishing with Grandpa and Grandma. And they would come, he'd call Friday night, no, it'd be Thursday night, say, how'd he do in school? And well, he wasn't in the principal's office this week. So he said, okay, so Friday afternoon, Grandpa come pick me up. We'd go pick up Grandma. She was out in West LA. Drive back, and they lived over by USC. And I would go with, Grandma would go and drop her off. She'd make the rice balls and the teriyaki chicken, teriyaki beef, and stuff like that for the bento box on Saturday morning. I go with my grandpa. And this is from the time I was 5. Go to Millie's Sporting Goods. It was over on Santa Barbara. It was over by the Coliseum at the time. And I learned at that time, that's where you get your intel, because he listened to talk to other people where we were going to go next day, whether it was Oceanside, Redondo, wherever the bite was on. That's what I learned to get that intel. That
information is valuable.
So, and that carried through all my years in growing up, and it carried through in my bass fishing. And I was blessed getting into that too, because
And he didn't turn out so bad, did he? I mean, he's okay, right?
One thing I really find interesting is that, as young kids did then, when I was young, kids get in trouble. So what we want to do here at EOD Fishing is we want to get them in some good trouble. We back then you said you get a SWAT. Unfortunately, we're in times now where mishaps could end people's lives and things like that.
Yeah.
So the stakes are high in the inner city community right now. I'm definitely with the group of men that's trying to make a difference. We're trying to push funnel it through our passion, which is fishing. Because we know, I was taught by my father. I heard family, what you were saying. Exactly. Man, we're about family, fun, fishing, faith, and fellowship. We like to get out, man. Let's get our feet in the dirt. Let's get our poles.
I love this guy.
And keep it going. So listen, you guys, EOD Fishing Adventures. Check me out on YouTube. I've done ELD TV, or just say ELD Fishing. Right. But the thing is, I've done videos at all the local parks because I'm adamant about putting in the work here to let people know in the inner city you can catch fish at Magic Johnson, Alondra Park, El Dorado, Leg Lake, Kenneth Hahn. You can catch fish in Harbor City, at Harbor Park. Oh, yeah. Listen, the thing is if you get out there and we teach them and we show them, they'll get that passion. The seeds will get planted, and then they have options They have access, and that can get them out the bad trouble. It can give them options to make another decision to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to go out there and do that. I'm going to go catch this fish that I missed yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And one thing we always say, you know what? My boy, Mr. O'Reilly, says this, one of the lake legends. He said, you know what? I've never seen a drive-by on the lake. So it's a good safe space where kids can learn.
That's it.
You know, you can learn respect for your elders. You learn to teach. It's fishing.
It turned into a career for you. I mean, it
Yeah,
did for
like
me.
you.
You know, I mean, I went to after I got a Dorsey. You know, I went to UC San Diego, and I went there because great bass fishing and all those lakes down there had salt water.
UC San Diego, huh?
UC San Diego.
Okay, I went to San Diego State. My
All
ass
right.
take, but
so
you
then
know
you
what?
know
I know
exactly what I'm talking about.
San
You had all
Diego
them
River,
lakes, right?
San Diego, Murray.
You fish
Oh, you got San Diego
Otay,
River, Otay,
San
yes.
Vicente,
Yes, yes.
Miramar.
I got an
You
important
name it.
question. Are you a USC fan?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I like USC.
Where did I play?
Yeah, that's
Listen,
all
you
right.
gotta listen, I'm in, we
That's
in
all right.
LA. All right, listen.
I'm a SC
the
fan,
Battle
don't
of
worry.
Los Angeles.
Go Irish!
That's right.
This
That's
fisherman
right.
tournament here. Hold up, you guys. Listen. This is the Battle of Los Angeles. Actually, it's the
Let's
second.
talk about the Battle of Los Angeles now.
This is the
That's
second annual.
yes. Go
Battle
ahead.
of Los Angeles, and you were there on the first.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
wa-
I'm saying? We talked
yeah,
about me. I kinda
absolutely.
talked about it. So the Battle of Los Angeles is a fishing tournament. We were deprived here in Los Angeles, and still to this day, we don't get tournaments for us here. You can go far away. You may be a part of a marina yacht club, but just for the people here, man, I'm for the fishermen in Los Angeles. The city, the urban city, man, the suburbs, we're coming together, man, as unification in this battle right here, where fishermen can come. We're going to be cash prizes. Last year, um, the people came. We ended up crowning. We thought we were going to get a king of LA, and we ended up with the queen of LA.
Nice.
Miss Shirley
That's
won
cool.
this in. And what we do is it's a small entry fee, and we give there's a winner in 5 categories: bass, bluegill, crappie, catfish, and carp. The biggest one, you win the big prize in every category. The bass we were catch and release, and last year we have people that don't throw bonuses too. Might say, I'll throw another 100 for the biggest. So it turned out great, but we also there, all the people that register, they bring kids with them that's 12 and under 2 kids per person. We're giving away free fishing poles to the youth that's coming. We have some games set up for them so they can just win candy and prizes and things that's going to be going on. And then from the tournaments from 8 to 12, you have to register now. And at 12 o'clock, we're going to have a ceremony. We're going to give away the prizes. We're going to have a great raffle with some great sponsors. The kids are going to win all day. You hear what I'm saying? And then we're going to be catered by My Father's Barbecue Restaurant, and all the contestants are going to feed out there. You might want to come out. My Father's
Yeah, I'll be
Barbecue.
there.
That's where Alabama meets Texas. That's
I'm in, man.
you got to come through. But the Battle of Los Angeles, man, listen, this is urban. They may call it urban, but listen, it's real. It's authentic. It's culture in this. Listen, this is so diverse. The people here, listen, we our winners last year. The guy right here, the bass winner was Jack Van Cleve. He was the bass winner, and Miss Shirley, she won the overall contest and won 3 different categories, and we had a ball.
You know something? We really don't get enough respect out here from the country or from anything else. And Phil knows my background coming out of the hood.
Yes.
When I even from the time I was at Dorsey and stuff, we were going up to Kachuma with bass fishing, got into bass fishing, took it to a different level locally. And as I grew older, I studied it more and more through college and everything, and we started developing methodologies and stuff to catch these world record bass. And I ended up catching one. I won the first Big Bass World Championship. But you know, around the country, it was getting boo-hooed. Here I am, an inner city kid winning the Big Bass World Championship. You know, but they forget that a lot of us that came out of the inner city, Phil included, all of us came out of LA. Look at the technology. Look at the methodology that comes out of our neighborhood. You got aerospace.
Yes.
You got Hollywood. You got
Definitely.
you got everything else going too.
that's
Why
what-
wouldn't we kick butt in fishing?
Man,
well, it's what we have in it. It's been built in us.
The competition.
Exactly.
It's the skill
It's
level.
exactly it. And we took it to a different level.
And the bowl is taking it to a different. Because a lot of people told me before, you can't do this. You can't do that. I say, hold up. We compete. I see it on every boat. They call it the jackpot. And people say, well, no fishing is free. No, listen. Everybody steps on a boat, wants to catch a bigger fish than the guy. all around them.
Friendly
You know what I'm saying?
competition.
So, but what we're doing here is we're bringing it all together. We're harnessing it. We're bringing it under a festive activity spot. And we're going to gather at the Leg Lake, Whittier Narrows. We call it the War at Whittier. All right, it's going down. Listen, so we have fishermen. Listen, we have so many fishing crews in Los Angeles, right? And the California Certified Slayers is a group that's so hook 'em and book 'em, the wet daddies, completely fishing. So we have people, Western Species Family. We have some of the best fishermen. Rick Kizzy, Judith Palmer. I listen that Captain Bill Wilkerson. Just out here, man. Listen, and we come together in unity. And what we do is share the knowledge with people. And I become a better fisherman because I fish with better fishermen, man. Listen, I'm with a group of certified slayers from California. So when you see this logo, when you see this right there, California
don't show up. Oh, there on your back.
California Certified Slayers. Listen, it's a group. You're going to see that out there now of passionate, dedicated fishermen that have come together, many from the hood. You know what I'm saying? We have doctors and longshoremen to whatever in there, retired people, young people, ages from 0 to 10. And my father's 80. I want to say shout out to my father, man, who instilled.
Where's this barbecue? Give him a shout out on his barbecue.
My father's barbecue, 637 University Drive in Carson, California. Chef Shalimar Lane, if you want some of the best barbecue, this is where Alabama meets Texas at my father's barbecue.
Hey, let me ask you a question. There was a guy that had a barbecue, and I used to be really friendly with him. He's a good guy. And when he would hand me a rib, I don't know if this is a Southern thing or not, he'd hand it to me with a piece of white bread. And then you'd use the bread to grip the. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Maybe that's a Southern thing. You guys are Texas. Or
listen, Alabama meets Texas. That's South. My father's from Alabama. My mother's from Texas. Listen, and you know where they met? Right here in California, where I was born.
That's right.
Okay, so man, it's just a great thing, man.
Hey, we need to get into the dates and the time. I think it says August 24th, which I'm all screwed up on. I have another thing I'm doing, I think, but if there's any way I can do it. But before we do, can I introduce somebody to you?
Yes.
So there's a kid who was having some academic problems, not doing really well in school.
Okay.
And his grandpa, this old, strange-looking guy with a big mustache, does that ring a bell with you?
Well, that could have been me too, Phil.
His grandpa said, you're not going fishing anymore if you don't get good grades.
Oh,
and
man.
guess what happened, Eldridge?
What happened?
Michael, come in here a second.
Come here, Michael.
Come and meet Eldridge.
Nice to meet
Nice
you,
to meet
man.
you too.
You like fishing?
Yeah.
You'll get your grades good up for fishing, huh?
Yep.
So tell me what happened.
So I basically got my grades up so I can go fishing more, to see all these beautiful boats, the beautiful ocean, and it just happened. And then I ended up winning a prize. Ended up in second place in the whole Colton district. I did a writing about like yellowfin tuna, and then I got second place.
I read that. It was beautifully done.
Yes, man. Yeah,
Michael, thank you.
Michael,
Mike.
man, you keep fishing. We have at Real Hope, our nonprofit. We have a group called the Young Slayers. Okay, this is our Real Hope Youth Fishing Club. Man, I'd love for you to get involved in it. And listen, and people out there, we're doing some work in the community through Real Hope, sharing the joys of fishing throughout our community. And also, we deal with Real Hope. We deal with Real Recovery, and it's REEL, Real Recovery. We have a couple of group homes in good hands and God's plan, sober living homes that's in Los Angeles in the hood. And what we do is we reach out with them and we take them out fishing. We went out on the piers in San Pedro. We're about to go to Marina Del Rey next. We cook up food out there, have a good day, invite people to come out. And it's just the camaraderie and the brotherhood, and they appreciate it, and we appreciate working with them as well as kids. And that's what we're going to keep doing with EOD Fishing, with American Certified Outdoorsmen, and with the Real Hope nonprofit. Definitely.
I know I speak for Danny. We got to work more with Eldridge.
You know
I
what?
probably said that to you last year, and then we got busy. Let's make it happen this year.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So listen, let me tell you how you
Yeah, please.
could register for this. So listen, right here, if you go to EOD Fishing on Facebook, if you hit this QR code, let me hold it right here. You can, and my number's on there. You can register. You hit that, it asks you a few simple questions, your name, your email address, telephone number, and how many people are in your party. We need to know how many contestants that's going to be in the contest to win the big money. And then how many people are coming with you, how many children, so we can have enough adequate fishing poles and food. And then from there, you just submit it. And we'll send you back an invoice for that, you can call me. We can make it work out because 7 o'clock will be registered. That morning, we'll be check-in on August the 24th. So you want to register now. And that tournament's going to go from 8 to 12. At around 10 o'clock, it's going to be some kid activities going in. 12, we're going to give out prizes. It's going to be some music, some great surprises, and you're going to have some of that My Father's Barbecue that tastes so
I'm
good.
in.
You guys come in. You guys, listen, register now. Okay, last year, we did it, and people showed up, and I didn't have things exactly right. This year, we have the fishing game. We have our permits. We have leg working with this man. Everything is going great, and we're going to put on an excellent event. It's going to be an event, a cultural thing going on right here in Los Angeles for the people of Los Angeles. Come on out. Let's find out who's the real fishing champion. Is it your club? Or is it somebody else's? Because people always say they're the best fisherman. Put your money where your mouth is. Come compete and put up and reap the benefits if you are that person.
Man, this is just a win-win deal. It's not only going to be a fun day, but it's so important, especially nowadays. You said that nowadays you make an error and you can end up dead is basically what you said.
We had some rough times. We know about all that. But see, this is so therapeutic. It gets us away from the stuff for a while that we can be with ourselves and be with each other. Man, it's unifying. It unifies. Listen, the group that we're about, man, we're about unity, man. All races, all come on and let's do it and hang out, listen to some music, have some barbecue, let's fish, and let's go home. And let's do it again next year. And let's do it again. And let's do it again. And let's build things for these kids, man. What I'm trying to build in this city right now. You know, so many people, when we were younger, we made decisions that weren't the best, and people actually tore things down. But we get to a point now, you know what? We want to build for my kid. I want to build for my grandkid. I want to build for the future. We want to pass the information down because fishing can save lives. It can help it. When we deal at our meetings now, we have every other month, the California Certified Slayers come together. We have older people that's dealing with problems men deal with. We have women too. Whether it's a family member that's sick, a wife with cancer, a family member, their self dealing with things, a loss in a death. Man, sometimes it's good to come together with other fishermen just to talk about fishing. We can check out of that stuff for a minute, and it helps us balance again. And family is just like everything. And some people don't have it, but we find that in our fishing community. So at the California Certified Slayers, man, we're about positivity. Yeah, people say, how do I become a certified slayer? They ask me, I say, come on out. Yeah, we want you to fish good. You know what I'm saying? But the main things are, do you have the heart to help young people? Do you have the heart to share? Are you a person of good conduct? Because at our meetings and stuff, my father would be there 80 and my mother in their 70s, and my little kids will be there, man. It's a safe environment. We're around. This is positive stuff we're doing. We want families to come together around that water and just and learn and be together and just grow.
When are the meetings and how do you attend those?
Okay, the meetings are once every other month. We started off this year, so I didn't want to do 12 like everybody else. We did 6, and all of them have been strong. We've had speakers from KJ, Mag 12 Swim Baits. KJ's been there. Bill Wilkerson from the Malahini and the Rise, and he's came down and talked. I don't want to miss nobody. We connect on my podcast with people from Steve Johnson up there to Fishing Ken in Texas to people on the East Coast, Dwayne Murphy from Fit and Fit. We have a nationwide podcast on Monday where we connect with a lot of urban fishermen, and I bring all those people from down south right here to California to Hollywood. I put it on the podcast and I shoot it out over the internet. And what we're trying to do is just grow with positivity, going forward. And we're just thankful that God wakes us up every morning so that we can bring a little sunshine to somebody else's life. And the thing about it is, and they say you can only keep what you have by giving it away.
Yeah, that's right.
It's that we need to fish so much because I need it, and when I can help somebody else, it gets me back out on the water more. So this year I remember at the beginning of the year, we were going to fish with purpose. We started the nonprofit. We started reeling with recovery with the guys up there, getting the young kids out. We started the meetings. We're having the second battle of Los Angeles. The growth is there. We're putting in the work. We have a good foundation of men that have been working with them. On the Battle of LA, it wouldn't have made it the first time without Jeff Young, Rick Kizzy, Judith Palmer, Man, you letting me come on there, man. Shay, man, been a lot of people has given me motivation and have helped and
You're
done
doing great work.
done the
Doing
work.
fantastic
Man,
stuff.
the certified slayers is doing the work. I just have a way of bringing people together. You know, that's my thing. If I can draw us together and we can get together and let our individual things shine, it's worth it.
You know, we collectively we've got a good friend that would. I think he would do this, and he's a great mentor to anybody. You're familiar with Brian Shaw, the old Lakers coach?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we got to get Brian. We can
B,
do that.
B would do something like that because he's got the heart.
100%.
He's a faithful man, and you know he would be what an icon and what a role model.
Man, I would love to, man, bro.
Yeah.
We'll try. We'll put you with him.
Hook me up with Brian Shaw, man. You know how big of a Laker fan I am.
No,
He doesn't like USC though. He's a Notre Dame guy. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
He's a UCSB guy.
UCSB. There you go.
He's right, actually.
There you go. We have.
But no. He would do that because that's where his heart is.
Okay.
They don't get any better than Brian. He's
Brian's done
they don't get any better.
numerous youth fishing stuff with me.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we took 100,000 kids fishing over a 20-year period, he was there on all those trips. So Danny is so right. That's a good idea.
He gets a little
Okay,
woozy
yeah,
outside on the ocean,
listen.
so the lakes
Definitely, and
he's a bass guy.
We man, we love the lakes, love the oceans. Me personally, we have people in our group that only fish lakes. We have some that only fish oceans. We have people that, like me, I guess I'm bi, huh? I do both. But I fish lakes and oceans. All right, let's get it straight. All right.
Yeah, straight's the word.
Let's get it straight.
Straight's
All
the
right.
word, yeah.
You're going to get us kicked off YouTube.
Listen, anyway, listen. Man, I just want to say on here, man, I'm glad to be on here, Phil. EOD Fishing, man. We about no strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, you get out, man, you give it all your all, give it your best, put your mindset going forward. Every time I fish, I try to tell myself I want that I'm gonna do the best, better than everybody. You know, things happen, but get that mindset, keep preparing, keep your hook sharp, because you know what, these tournaments like this right here, the woman who won last year, Miss Shirley, she fished that lake with her grandmother.
Oh man, I
So
love it.
so a lot of people don't know at lakes like this. They're good at the derbies when they stock them and it's the bar. Listen, but in the tournament, we want to see who can catch, man. Target each fish. You target 3 fish and come in 3 categories, you're probably gonna get the big jackpot. So the thing is, and at the same time, we're gonna have Martin's Fishing Tackle. Let me say this: Martin Fishing Tackle has been down. I should have said at the beginning, has been down.
Yeah, poor Martin.
From the beginning, he was one of my first sponsors, other than my father's barbecue. And the last battle, he donated so many things. And this year, he wants to do the kid giveaway and things. He helps out him and Val. Check them out up on Western, Martin's Fishing Tackle. So we're trying to grow and connect with who we can, man. I'm glad that Phil has me here. I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad that I'm gonna meet Brian Shaw, the Lakers, and all that good stuff going on. But man,
Michael Limon, his strange-looking grandfather.
man, his grandson though, he's proud. That's a good thing.
Back here.
Mackie, man, glad to meet you, man. EOD Fishing. You guys subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, please.
EOD TV, man. EOD Fishing Word. Ain't no strikeouts, ain't no plan. We fishing all over Los Angeles. I don't care if it's Kenneth Hahn, if it's Magic Johnson. We could take it out to the Tanner Banks like I did with Captain Tucker and the Wet Daddies and Big Rich. Catch them from bluegill to bluefin. We're going to put it down. But definitely we're going to help the kids and we're going to grow and get this fishing out in our community, man, and give our kids options and give them access. Real hope.
Awesome. Yeah.
Real hope.
How can you not love this man? This guy is awesome. Anything else? Do we have it all covered or not? Did you
register for the Battle of Los Angeles? Listen, they also have, if you're not going to be in the tournament, register. We have some ways that you can still come and participate with everything and some donation options. Come on through. This event is an LA-born event. We're going to get it going. Bring your grandkids. Bring your kids. Come out here, man. The barbecue is going to be great. And just take a shot in the tournament, man, and let's have a day of coming together.
All right. How about we come together right now and group hug? Come over here, Danny. Who else wants in here? Dan, you want to come out for the group hug? ELD Fishing. And where is that Michael Limon kid? Come on, group hug, everybody.
Come on,
There you go.
Good stuff. Mackie, good to have you guys. One more time again.
August 24th, the Battle of Los Angeles. You guys be on the lookout, whether it's the oceans, whether it's the lakes. The California certified slayers are out there. Man, we fishing everywhere. It's about camaraderie. It's about family, fun, fishing, and fellowship. The Battle of Los Angeles, August 24th, Leg Lake. Register now.
Slam dunk.
All
Hit
right.
that like button.
You got
Thanks
it.
for being here. And make sure you
got
attend
it.
the Battle of Los Angeles.
Ain't no strikeouts, ain't no playing. I'll let you board.